We look up at the night sky, it's filled with countless stars. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, holds billions of them, and there are billions of galaxies beyond our own. The numbers are almost too large to imagine. It feels like there must be someone else out there. Somewhere in that vast cosmic ocean, other life should exist. Other civilizations might have risen on other worlds. This idea has captivated humans for generations. We tell stories about aliens. We watch films about visiting other planets. We send probes into space, hoping for a sign. The search for extraterrestrial life is one of the greatest adventures of our time. But so far, we have found nothing. The universe is silent. This profound silence is a deep mystery. Scientists call it the Fermi Paradox. The famous physicist Enrico Fermi asked a simple question: if the universe is so big and so old, where is everybody? The paradox is a puzzle with many possible solutions. Perhaps life is incredibly rare. Maybe we are the first intelligent species to arise in our galaxy, or perhaps civilizations do not last very long. They might destroy themselves before they can travel between the stars. But there is another possibility, one that is less often discussed. What if they are out there, but they are hiding, not behind advanced cloaking devices or in other dimensions? What if they are hiding in plain sight? We humans tend to measure progress by our technology. We are proud of our computers, our rockets, and our global communication network. We assume that any other intelligent species would follow a similar path. We expect them to develop science, build cities, and eventually reach for the stars. But what if this assumption is wrong? Perhaps a truly wise civilization understands the dangers of technology. They might see it as a trap. Technology can lead to pollution, war, and the destruction of a planet's natural environment. An alien species with a much longer history might have learned this lesson the hard way. So they made a deliberate choice to turn away from it. They chose to live in harmony with their planet instead. This choice would not mean they are simple-minded. Their primitive lifestyle could be the result of very deep thinking. It might be a philosophical or even a spiritual decision. To understand why an alien civilization might choose a primitive lifestyle, we don't have to look to the stars. We can look right here on Earth. Our own planet is home to human societies that have chosen to live apart from the modern world. These are often called uncontacted tribes. Their isolation is not a result of ignorance. For most of them, it is a deliberate and conscious choice. They actively avoid contact with the outside world. There are other communities like some Amish or Mennonite groups that consciously choose to limit their use of technology. They believe that a simple life focused on family, community, and faith is more valuable than a life filled with modern distractions. These communities show us that the rejection of technology can be a sophisticated philosophical choice. It is not about being backwards. It is about having a different set of priorities. One of the most compelling concepts related to the Fermi Paradox is the Great Filter. This theory proposes that there is some kind of universal obstacle or challenge that makes it incredibly difficult for life to progress from a simple origin to a spacefaring galactic civilization. Perhaps the filter is the technology trap. It could be that the discovery of certain technologies, like nuclear power or artificial superintelligence, almost inevitably leads to self-destruction. The deliberately primitive alien civilization would be one that has seen this filter coming. Their choice to remain simple is their solution to surviving the Great Filter. In this view, true advancement is not about overcoming the filter with more technology, but about sidestepping it entirely. They chose sustainability over power and harmony over growth. This makes their primitive state not a failure to advance, but the ultimate expression of intelligence and foresight. They are the ones who pass the test. Another famous theory attempting to solve the Fermi paradox is the zoo hypothesis. This idea suggests that advanced alien civilizations are out there, and they are fully aware of our existence. However, they have chosen not to make contact with us. They have deliberately placed Earth and humanity inside a kind of cosmic zoo or wildlife preserve. What if the zookeepers themselves are not the hyper-technological beings we imagine? Perhaps the most mature civilizations are the ones who have adopted a simple, sustainable way of life. They would be cosmic gardeners, not galactic engineers. Their silence is a sign of their respect for our autonomy. They watch over us not to control us, but to ensure that we have the chance to succeed or fail on our own terms. A more recent and mind-bending idea is the estivation hypothesis. This theory proposes that the most advanced civilizations in the universe are not dead or absent, but are currently dormant. They are in a long, deep sleep, waiting for the universe to get colder. In that far future, colder cosmos, the energy they have stored will allow them to perform vastly more computations. Our entire search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, has been built on a single fundamental assumption. We assume that advanced civilizations will be technological, but if the wisest aliens are deliberately primitive, this entire paradigm is wrong. It would mean we have been looking in the wrong places with the wrong tools. We should intensify our search for biosignatures instead. We can look for signs of a biosphere that is not just alive, but intelligently managed. Imagine a planet where the atmospheric composition is held in a state of perfect, unnatural equilibrium for millions of years. This stability could be a sign of a global intelligence carefully regulating its climate. These garden worlds would be the ultimate prize. The absence of industrial pollution would not be a sign of no intelligence, but a sign of a very different and perhaps superior form of intelligence. It would require a new generation of telescopes and analytical techniques. The hunt for these subtle clues would be a long and difficult process. The idea of deliberately primitive aliens also dramatically changes how we should think about first contact. First contact would not be initiated by them, but by us. We would be the ones with the spaceships, arriving on their world. We would be the technological invaders. This puts humanity in a position of immense responsibility. In this scenario, we are the ones with the power to disrupt and potentially harm a society that has chosen a different way of life. The ethical stakes would be astronomically high. We would hold the fate of another intelligent species in our hands. We must decide as a species how we would handle such a discovery. Would we have the wisdom and restraint to observe from a distance, to leave them undisturbed? The answer to that question says more about our own level of advancement than any of our technologies do. Our journey through this cosmic question has led us far from our starting point. We began with the silence of the night sky, the profound mystery of the Fermi Paradox. But perhaps we have been asking the wrong question all along. The possibility that advanced alien civilizations might choose a primitive, non-technological existence forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew. It suggests the universe might not be empty, but is instead filled with a quiet wisdom we are not yet able to perceive. This idea transforms the great silence from a source of cosmic loneliness into a canvas of profound possibilities. It could be the sound of civilizations that have survived the great filter by choosing balance over growth. It might be the respectful quiet of cosmic zookeepers, or it could be the deep, patient sleep of ancient minds. The common thread is that the silence is not an absence, but a deliberate choice. It is the sign of a maturity that has outgrown the need for loud, expansive technologies, a maturity we have not yet reached ourselves. This reframes our own global challenges, climate change, conflict, social division, not just as problems to be solved, but as tests of our own maturity. As we continue to scan the heavens for signs of life, we must remember to look for the subtle as well as the obvious, the quiet as well as the loud. We must search for the gardeners as well as the engineers. The quest for extraterrestrial life is also a quest to understand what it means to be a successful civilization. Perhaps the most important discovery we can make is not finding aliens, but realizing that the wisdom to survive and thrive has been a choice available to us all along.